I'm Robert Barnes from Spyder Machines, and textile screen printing is an off-contact process. The tension of the screen frame in relation to the off-contact is what determines how effective the mesh can release itself from the deposit of the ink. Now, in most shops, the screen frames have varying tensions, so the ability to adjust off-contact independently per head is a far better solution than increased squeegee pressure, increased or decreased squeegee speed, as well as thinning the ink, or, for heaven's sake, using multiple strokes. With older conventional printhead design, independent off-contact is not really practical. I mean, the use of a wrench to adjust your off-contact in 4 positions, the problem you run into is, sure, you can get it to print for that one job, but ideally you would want to move the screen holder in parallel with the platen surface so that when you were done with the job you could return it back to its original state. So with these type of designs, typically what operators are doing is they're releasing the clamp and sliding wood sticks or quarters or nickels or anything they find around the shop to increase the off contact. Now the problem you run into is if you've already set the job up, the screens are registered, and you realize you need more off contact on this particular screen to get it to print right. As soon as you release the clamp and slip anything under the screen, well, now you're forced to re-register the job. So this costs you money because it takes longer to set the job up, and you certainly aren't getting the proper print quality that you need. The Mustang has eliminated the need for makeshift solutions when it comes to independent off contact. The independent off contact is actually built in, so you have 4 adjustment knobs, 2 in the rear and 2 in the front, and this gives you control of the independent off contact. This allows you to dial in the print quality that you need based on the screen tension independently per head. On the Mustang, because of its independent off contact, we are able to maintain the relationship between the screen and the platen so everything stays parallel. So if you'll notice, it's a ball detent which allows us to adjust it. So if we want to make radical off contact changes, we can, but each click allows us to maintain our position, so when we want to bring it back to 0, we can. So this independent off contact on the Mustang gives you a lot more control on your printing. Now, in an older conventional machine, the raising and lowering of the platen is done with 2 air cylinders, and these air cylinders are about a 2-inch stroke, so they can only move all the way up and all the way down. So the only way to adjust the off contact is have some mechanism on top of the shaft of the cylinder. Here you'll see the air cylinder, and this is the central off contact mechanism, here with the spring going up and down. So it's a fixed lift, up 2 inches, down 2 inches. The problem with an air cylinder is that you have a cushion at the top and a cushion at the bottom, so you get a little bit of a bounce on the way down and a little bit of a bounce on the way up. Okay, on the older conventional machines, you basically have this linkage, which is called the central off contact linkage. So if you're in this position and you want to move it, each notch is 1/16 of an inch. So you really only have the ability to move from this position 1, 2, 3/16 of an inch. That's really all you have in adjustment. The Mustang has taken a modern approach. It uses a dual spring configuration to support the entire weight of the platen assembly. The industrial screw is able to drive the platens up and down, which gives you digital control at every head of that central off contact. You see here the entire weight of this assembly going up and down is being supported by 2 springs, an inner stage spring and an outer stage spring, which makes the entire table buoyant. So when the table comes down, it's completely assisted by the spring. And you can see the guide system up and down. The innovation of the spring supporting the weight of the platens coupled with an industrial screw drive, gives you smooth transition up and down of the platens along with digital control of your central off contact. Here's the setting for off contact. We are at 0. If you look at this, we are actually at 0 off contact. So we're able to lower that down, and if we want to change it, we can change it to 1/8 of an inch all the way to 0.4 of an inch. You can see that's an enormous amount of off contact. You have digital control of that off contact to any setting. I'm Robert Barnes from Spyder Machines. I hope you got a chance to learn a little bit about screen tension, off contact, and some of the amazing features and functions of the Mustang printer. Thank you for watching my videos. Please check out my blog. It's spyderpromo.com.